All right, if you're with us online or at home, go and start to get your space set up. We're going to start here in the next 30 seconds or so. So go and get your space ready, and we're going to begin shortly. All right, welcome back. Session 3, 2022. We're ready to roll. Do you know what, though? One thing that someone needs to figure out how to make is a shirt that doesn't get staticky, or clothes that don't get staticky. All right, I'll try it. Yeah. Moisturize. What'd you say? Oh, that's true. We don't use dryer. I don't have any dryer sheets. We have these like little dryer balls. It's nice. Yeah, they're nice. They're just reusable. I tried that and did not. I just ended up having just a wet shirt. Fair. I found this like chemical spray once that like you could spray, but I'm like, oh, I'm spraying chemicals all over myself every day, get rid of it. Anyways, I digress. We can start class. So if this is your first time coming to Build Light, thank you for being here. Great to have you. A little bit about the format of today. I'll go over all the movements we have, so don't worry too much about the form of movement yet. I'll cover all that. If you don't have the equipment that you see listed online and you're joining us online, no worries. I'll give you some options for some movements that you can do without that equipment. So the structure of this class is we'll do a 6-minute warm-up, okay, get the body ready to go, and then we're going to jump right into the workout. And the workout for Build Light is we have 8 movements total. Each movement we're going to do for 30 seconds. If you're used to build, instead of 45 seconds, it's 30 seconds. Okay, and we're going to go through each movement one into the next without any rest periods. Once we make it through all 8 movements, you'll get a 1-minute rest, and then that'll be 1 round done, and we do 3 rounds in this class. Okay, and then at the end we'll do a cool-down stretch routine and send you on your way. So today the equipment needed is dumbbell, medium, roughly. You can choose your own weight, see what feels comfortable. Start light, you can always work up to heavier. And a mat. And the first movement today is going to be push-ups. So when we think about push-ups or any of these movements, the first thing we want to do is make sure we're braced, okay? So if you haven't gone through and watched Optimize Your Movement, make sure you do that, okay? It's on Workday Learn, or if you're a family member at home, send me an email and I can send that to you. But we're going to go through a quick little bracing technique, okay? So go and get in a normal stance, whatever that might be. When we're talking about bracing, it's really important so that we don't hurt ourselves when exercising. That's what makes the bracing so important. So we're going to just have our normal stance, okay? First thing I want you to do is squeeze your glutes and then really relax your glutes. And kind of try to feel for that hip shift. There's a little bit of hip rotation when you squeeze your glutes and then when you release them, okay? So we want to squeeze the glutes. Think of lifting your pelvic floor, your bladder up into your stomach. You'll feel a tight little pull and kind of right above your belt line when you do that, okay? And then we're going to tighten that core like tightening a corset. Shoulder blades back and down, head up in that neutral position. And right now we're in that brace position, okay? So try to keep all of that brace. You can release those glutes as long as you're holding that core up and in. Take a couple steps holding that position and then release it. And you'll kind of feel that slump, that drop that your body does. So that's the difference between braced and not being braced. So we want to make sure that we're braced through all movements of the class, okay? So like I said, Optimize Your Movement. It's a series on Workday Learn. Make sure you watch it if you haven't, because it goes a lot more in depth into a lot of that. We're not going to cover it fully here today. But the first movement, push-ups. So we're all still in our brace position, right? None of us lost it? Sweet. So push-ups, remember, the biggest thing with push-ups when we're doing normal push-ups, like no specialization, but we really want to make sure we're pulling those shoulder blades back and down, okay? And our hands are going to be under our chest, okay? We don't want our hands up close to our face. So the way you can do it, shoulder blades back and down, and kind of wherever those hands are, make sure they're just down low, right about that chest or right below that chest area, okay? So from this position, when we go to extend, we're going to stop short, okay? So when we do this extension, I can go further, but I don't want to go further, okay? That's turning on serratus anterior over here. It's turning on some different muscles. That's not the point of what we're doing. So shoulder blades back and down, hands underneath the chest. When we press, make sure that tension in between the back and the scapula stays there, okay? Don't let those shoulders round forward. And that's going to be in position, and then you're going to come back down, hands under chest. So let's get down for this, down into a kneeling position. We're not warmed up. We're just going to start here. From this position, if you find your shoulders are rounded forward or you're really extended up and high, think of dropping them back, rolling them down, hold that chest up, okay? Tension in between those shoulder blades, and then we're just going to slowly, and where are those hands? Are they going to be below your chest on your way down? Make sure they're not going to be where the face is, and slowly, elbows kind of at that 45, lower yourself down, and then you can press back up, okay? We want to be feeling that tension through the chest, through the pecs on the way down, and on that press up, okay? So that's that first movement we're going to be doing. The second movement is going to be inchworms. So we're staying down on the floor, and we're just going to press up to here, and we're bending the knees and walking those hands in, okay? Shoulder blades are staying back and down, okay? We're not shrugging. And when we're here, we want to try to make sure we're not doing a lot of side-to-side twisting as we're walking. We're trying to remain in control as we go up and down to that movement, okay? If that movement's difficult, you can always just hold that plank, and without the walking, push the hips high up in the air and then bring them back and down from a pike to plank position, okay? The next one we have is superhero squeezes, and for this one, we're going to be down on the floor. Arms are going to be extended, feet are going to be extended, and we're going to lift, pull those elbows back and down, squeeze the upper back, squeeze the glutes to lift the legs up off the floor here, okay? And then we're just going to repeat that, stretch out, contract back in. Next one we have, this is the first one that we have with weights. So go ahead and grab what those weights are. We'll do this one together real quick. Make sure we have that movement down. Doesn't matter what heaviest size weight you grab. But biggest thing with bent over rows here is we want to make sure we're hip hinging. So pressing those hips back, dropping that chest forward, slight bend in those knees, but not a big bend, okay? And we're trying to get that torso closer to parallel with the floor. So shoulder blades are going to stay back and down. If you're going low row, because there's two options, you're going to pull those elbows back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Okay, squeeze those lats, and then back down. And you're going to pull right back up and back down. If you want to do a high row, the only difference in this position is your elbows are going to go up high and wide, okay? Really be intentional, though. As we get tired, we'll start to creep up. So if we find ourselves here, we want to try to remember to get back down into that position, because as we get tired, that low back's going to get tired, and it's going to make it easier by you standing up taller, okay? So something to be aware of there. And with the high row, still, upper back, squeeze those scapula together at the top, okay? Next movement we have are gonna be T squeezes. T squeezes, weight is optional. So, and I guess for that last one, the bent over rows, if you don't have weight at home, feel free just to do that movement, but without the weight, okay? Practice and hold that concentric contraction. So if I'm here, I'm gonna pull up and I'm just gonna squeeze in this position as hard as I can for the full 30 seconds, okay? It's not as easy as it sounds without weight. Next one we have is gonna be T squeezes. So we're doing that same hip hinge dropping down. The difference here is we're gonna have our hands, if you don't have weight, thumbs are gonna be up and you're coming right here. So scapula, let's do this one together. Don't shrug, scapula is pulled back and down through that lift. So we're in this position, we're all kind of here, and then shoulder blades are back down, we're gonna lift, okay? And we're engaging that upper back, squeezing those scapula together, okay? Remember, I'm staying down. If you want, you can add a little bit of weight, and then really, if with that movement, try to keep the same movement speed up as you're doing movement speed down. So you're controlling it up, you're controlling it down, you're not letting the momentum pull it up, pull it down, pull it up. Yep, so these ones are nice for that. So then you can hold it and you still keep that same position. Yeah, great question. And then the next one we have, hit the floor. So remembering with hit the floor, all we're trying to do is go into a deep lunge and trying to get as far down for that reach as we can. Doesn't matter how far you can get. For me, I like to extend my back leg as far as I can and keep it straight. If that doesn't feel as comfortable to you, you can change that up. The biggest thing is we're not wanting to round the low back. Okay, that's what's important. Weight's gonna stay on that front leg. Keep that neutral curve in the spine in the low back. So when you extend back, you're coming down into more of a position like this. Okay, we don't want to be here. Okay, so whatever it is, you need to keep those hips low, keep that low back pulled in. And then we're going to step over, switch the opposite side. So let's just do this one together. And one thing to be intentional, if it's hard to get down to the floor, you can just go to the knee. You can go to the shin, or you can go to the ankle, whatever that depth is to you, but make sure you're controlling it and having good form. So we're going to step back. We're going to tap wherever that depth is. Weight's on that front leg, okay? Then we're going to step that leg up into center, kick that opposite leg back. And come back to center, kick that opposite leg back, drop down. Same thing over the opposite side. Start slow with this one. It takes time to develop that coordination with that movement. So think stability, control. What muscles am I working? Where am I supposed to be feeling it? Okay, am I rounding my low back? Pay attention to some of those cues. Next one we have is going to be the Romanian deadlift. So this is where we're going to have the dumbbells again. And you can either do single or double, up to you. So we're braced, and all we're going to do, we'll do this one together too. But keep the glutes engaged. That's the biggest thing you want to make sure is you're really focusing on the glutes. Hamstrings always want to take over, so we need to be intentional and make the glutes work. And to do that, you can think of twisting those feet out, twisting those knees out, squeezing those glutes in that position, okay? And we're going to push those hips back, drop the chest. Shoulder blades are staying back and down until you feel that stretch, that contraction. Keep the glutes squeezed. Then you press those hips forward, squeeze the glutes at the top, then work our way back down, okay? And we're just going to be in this movement pattern, okay? Really be sure here, don't go past the point of tension within the hamstrings, because all you're probably doing is rounding your low back to get further in that movement. So once you feel the hamstrings are tight, you don't need to go any further within that movement, okay? And if you are at home, we're just going to practice that movement. So you can either do air squats, you can do burpees, okay? Or you can just practice that RDL without weight, okay? And if you want to do it that way, you can just have your hands overhead as you drop down into that position and come back up. You can always do the without weight options here as well. And then the last one we have is going to be the stance jacks. So remembering, feet are going to start together, okay? We're going to jump the feet out, and when the feet go out, the hips go out, and we're reaching over either to the knee, the shin, or the ankle, and then back to center over the opposite side, okay? So we'll practice this one, make sure that we got that movement down. And remember, feel free to start slow. So you jump out, you can bend, you can tap, and you go back to center, and you can jump out. And when we're bending and tapping, make sure we're pushing the hips back, dropping that chest. We don't want to round that low back, so we're going to have a bend in those knees. Reach over, tap, back to center. And if the jumping, the impact's a lot, you can just be right here, okay? You don't have to do the jump twist every time. But keep those glutes engaged, just like we were doing with that RDL when you're in that movement, in that bend over, drop down, okay? Any questions? Let's do it. First class back. Which means, and it's Monday, so it might be a little tough. That's all right. We're gonna crush it either way. We're starting in 3, 2, 1 with jumping jacks. Remember to stay braced, engaged here. Pelvic floor is gonna be up and in. If you wanna minimize that impact, you can be here. We're only at about 40%. We're not overly pushing yet. Stay braced. Shoulder blades stay back and down. Pelvic floor up and in. Nice job. Just getting that body moving. Air squats. So air squats are pushing those hips back and down. Okay, like we're sitting back and down onto a little chair. Weight's gonna stay even on the feet. Knees are gonna stay in line with those toes. Keep those glutes engaged. Don't let those glutes shut off. Don't let those knees cave in. Marches. We're gonna drive that knee up. Getting a balance and control. Today's gonna be hard. Mondays are always tough, and then Monday after a whole week off, I don't know. I'm a little scared. Really be sure to utilize that core to drive up and put some power into that knee lift. Lunges, alternating. With that lunge, weight's gonna be even on that front foot. Knee's gonna stay in line with that toe. Remember, keep that glute engaged. Whatever that front leg is, make sure that glute is on. We're braced. Control. Always pay attention. What muscle am I trying to work here? Am I feeling that muscle work? Arm circles. Full range of motion here. Reverse. Why is it snowing, y'all? What is the deal? I'm ready for spring and summer. I don't want no more snow. I'm over it. Inchworms into those push-ups. So if you haven't done these ones before, we're gonna hinge at the hips, bend the knees. Don't round the low back, but we're gonna walk out to a plank. Then we're gonna do a push-up. And then we're gonna walk our way back up, like those inchworms we were just talking about. Make our way back down, then into a push-up. Jumping jacks. All right, we're in round 2 of the warm-up. Starting to pick up the tempo, pick up the intensity a little bit. At about 60, 65%. Starting to move a little bit quicker. Stay braced. Air squats. So we're sitting those hips back and down. Knees in line with those toes. Keep those glutes on. Nice job. Don't let those glutes shut off. Marches. Use that core. Drive that knee up. Remember, power from that core. Put some power into that knee drive. Lunges. If you're ever feeling uncomfortability in that knee, try stepping backwards in a lunge instead of forward. And if you're feeling strong in these lunges, you can add a twist towards that knee that's in front. Slow, controlled, powerful movements. Arm circles. Really reach here. And remember with these, you don't want to twist the torso. Torso staying square. Just those shoulders are working. Reverse. Nice job. Inchworms into those push-ups. Don't round that low back. Take a break. 1 minute. And then we're starting the workout. Whew. Feeling my lungs a little bit. A little warm in there. And I forgot my water. I'll be right back. All right, we're starting with those push-ups. So remember, we're braced, shoulder blades backing down. Think of your back being almost the center of power for the push-up. You try to jump off sand, you're not gonna go very far. Try to jump off concrete, you're gonna get a lot further. Think of that as your back. We don't want it to be sand, we want that back to be concrete, okay? In between those shoulder blades. So in 5, 3, 1, we're moving. 30 seconds. Remember, your first round is like your last warm-up. Don't need to overly go too hard. We're just starting here. Nice job, nice job. Stay with it. Perfect. So I'm gonna have you come right over here. I'm gonna have you come to this side real quick. Nice job. Switch into those superhero squeezes. We're down and we're lift. Try to make sure you're lifting from those glutes with those legs. We're still braced. Switch into those bent over rows. Whatever that weight you wanted was. Nice job. Don't lose that pelvic floor and that core. Switch T squeezes. This is the thumbs. Push right up. Power from the back. Squeeze those scapula together. Don't lose that bracing. As you're getting tired, if you find yourself here, try to drop it back down. hit the floor. Remember, start slow here. Get that movement down. Kicking that leg back, tapping, stepping in, kick the opposite leg back. Biggest thing here, we're not rounding that low back. So watch yourself. Are you rounding that low back? Or are you bent? Keep it pulled in. Nice job. Switch RDLs. We're back to that dumbbell. 1 or 2. This is where we're pushing those hips back, okay? So wherever you're at, and we're dropping that chest. Our glutes are what are doing the work here. Squeeze those glutes at the top. Stance jacks. And we're moving here. Remember, start slow with these. Start to get that movement pattern down. Keep those glutes engaged. So we're gonna stay squared, and then we're just gonna twist and reach. But keep those hips square, keep that weight even on those feet. So we're pushing the hips back, dropping down. Nice. Slight bend in those knees. Take a break. Nice work, y'all. Huh? It's wicked fast. So as you start to think of what your next transition move is, of if I have weights for my next one, where am I setting those weights so they're easy to get to? Quick transitions like that. It's nice when you have lazy transitions, huh? 30 seconds is very quick. So cool, remember, power, quick transitions, move fast in between those transitional periods. You'll wanna rest. Don't do it. No rest in those. We'll rest after the 4 minutes. All right, push-ups is that first movement. We're starting in 10 seconds. Now we want that tension through the chest on this push. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Stay braced. Where's that tension at? Rep it out. Let's go. Inchworms. We're up and we're moving. Stay with it. Stay with it. Keep a bend in those knees. Try to get those heels down in that walk up. Superheroes, we're down. Squeeze those shoulder blades together at the top. Strong, powerful squeezes. Stay braced. Are you leaning more to one side or the other? Pay attention. Bent over rows. T-squeeze. This is where thumbs are up. Nice. Don't lose that bracing. Core's up and in and strong. Control that lift. Feel that squeeze. Hit the floor. Remember, feel free to start slow. Get that movement down. Make sure you're not rounding that low back. We're bending that front leg. So that front knee is gonna bend to get yourself low enough. Nice. Keep that glute engaged on that front leg. RDLs. Working those glutes here. Nice job. Stance jacks. Last movement, y'all. Keep that bend in that knee. Nice job. Stay with it. Stay. Gosh darn it. Shut my mic off somewhere in there and then I just left it off. If you're with us online, hope you're good. We're just watching what's happening because you didn't hear nothing on that last round. You had nothing going on. Now we're gonna slow that breathing down. Working on breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Remember, on these breaths, we want to work to breathe into the belly. So when you breathe through the nose, send the air into the belly, let it expand. Exhale through the mouth. We tend to breathe through our traps, our upper back, our chest, our shoulders. Let's try to lower that breath down a little bit. And once you're ready, start with those deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose on the way up, into the belly, exhaling through the mouth on the way down. Don't have to follow my tempo. Don't follow anybody else's. Let your breath guide you. And then next exhale, we're gonna pull that arm across, keeping that scapula, that shoulder blade, down and back. Working on stretching the rear delt, back side of the shoulder, not the back. When you're ready, go and release. Switch the opposite side. Through all these stretches we're gonna do, keep that slight bracing, about a 2 out of 10 intensity of brace. Keep those breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And stretch a little further on each exhale. When you're ready, go and release. Pull that arm back behind, grab that elbow for that tricep stretch. When you're ready, go and release and switch. Remember, still keep those shoulder blades back and down while we're doing this stretch. When you're ready, go ahead and release. Bring those hands back and behind, interlock those fingers together. We're gonna pull those shoulder blades back and down, open that chest. And then we're gonna roll that head and neck here. And remember to breathe. If you find a spot that's very tight, feel free to stay there. Go ahead and release, inhale up and in. On that exhale, we're gonna push those hips back and drop down into that full deep floor squat. So we're working on trying to get those heels down here. So if you can't quite get the heels down, it's okay to be here and work on improving that flexibility to get those heels down. If it's ever hard with the heels, you can get a dumbbell, hold on to the dumbbell, hold on to a wall or a door, something to help you hold that balance as you open into that stretch. Remember, keep those shoulder blades back and down, that chest up. If you want more of that inner thigh stretch, elbows to the inside of the knees, palms together, and we're gonna press those palms down. Good job. And keep those breaths in through the nose, into the belly, out through the mouth. Next, if you still have your mat, you're gonna walk out onto the mat, drop into all fours, and we're gonna drop into that puppy pose. So keeping the hips above the knees, we're gonna drop those arms out in front, drop that chest down into the floor. If you wanna change up that stretch a little bit, you can always lift those hands back behind the head. This might intensify that stretch near the armpit, through that lat. Remember, every third or fourth breath, make it a deeper inhale. When you're ready, we're going to slowly bring ourselves up. We're going to widen those knees out to the edges, bring those feet together, sit down, glutes onto those heels into that full child's pose. We're going to walk our hands over to the left, stretching that right side. When you're ready, you're going to release it back to center and walk over to the opposite side, stretching that side body. Ready, we're going to go ahead and release back to center. We're going to come up and drop down into a downward dog. So remember, keep a bend in those knees. Don't round that low back. You can pedal out the feet, stretch out those calves. Now what we're going to do is take a wide stance with our feet and walk our hands in. Slowly roll ourselves back up to standing. Go ahead and take a little bit of a wider stance here. We're going to keep shoulder blades back and down. We're going to drop that chest, not rounding that low back yet. And what we're going to do is we're going to shift our way over to the left side. Make sure your heel is down on the side that you're stretching to. Stretching that inner thigh here. We don't want to be up. We don't want the knee going forward. We want the hips going back, okay? Feel free to go as low as you want, but be sure to keep that heel down. And to breathe. When you're ready, you're going to go and come up, walk it over to that opposite side. Same thing, push those hips back, stretch that opposite inner thigh. Remember to breathe. When you're ready, go and roll it back to center. We're going to drop that torso in between. Feel free if you want to grab the floor and pull yourself a little bit deeper into that stretch here. And just breathe through that stretch. When you're ready, go and walk those feet in together. When you're ready, roll yourself up, and then we're gonna finish with those breaths. In through the nose on the way up. Last 3 breaths here. Each breath in a little deeper. Each exhale, blowing out a little further. Nice job today, y'all. If you are with us online, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe for updates. Sorry, my mic died on me. Not my fault. That's not true. I accidentally turned it off. But don't forget your homework tonight. Good full dinner. Drink water. At least 6 hours of sleep. All right, those are always the usual. And be attentive tomorrow to stay braced through your workday. Okay. With that, have a nice night, and we'll see you next time.